So I did the airport. I showed you guys how much of a waste of time that is. Now it's like 5:30. I went home and edited that video, and now I'm gonna go drive around, make some money. Hopefully it should be. Hopefully I make some money. Like $100, $100-something would be great. I just gotta stay up, gotta stay ahead. Cause tell you what, it's not always like it was on Halloween, and so got to make money when I can, cause all this stuff costs money. It's a little harder for me than it is for everybody else, cause you kind of got like a monthly thing. Me, I'm kind of moving from place to place, so it does put a little strain on funds and different stuff. But hey, it's what I signed up for. I knew it in the beginning, didn't realize how hard it'd be, but hey, you know what, it's all good. So let me go make some money. I had to prove that point at the airport. I wish I'd have got a better ride, like the $30 ride, but obviously Uber didn't care, and I wasn't going to sit there any longer. So that's why I don't sit at the airport. So I'm going to drive around, do some Premiere. Might have to do Comfort again. I don't know. I mean, if I got to make some money, got to do Comfort, then hey, just got to do what I got to do. So get out, make sure it's clean. Alright, so I got Comfort on because obviously it worked last night. I'm going to go back over there towards the beaches. I don't know why it wants to pull up, but got Premiere Hourly, all that stuff. So we're going to see if I can make some money tonight. Now I'm going to go back towards the beaches, see all the nice, wonderful tourists, because I had a guy say that super busy, couldn't get a hotel. So I don't know what's going on here. I can look at Gridwise, but it could be actually I should look at Gridwise. I don't know why I don't know. I look at it a lot, but sometimes I forget because I get so like distracted. Like I didn't know the boat show was going on, but I wasn't really paying attention to it. I was more focused on Halloween, and then somebody did tell me about the boat show, but I worked a boat show. I didn't know it was the biggest boat show in the world, so I didn't know all that. I'm not from this area. The boat show I worked, yeah, I wouldn't have been worried about taking people to it because it was not that busy. And I worked the boat show. Like, I was a waste of my time. I could have made more money sitting at the shop than at the boat show. But, I was the one that got shafted saying, oh, they need you at the boat show. No, they don't need me at the boat show. I need to make money, not stand around in the heat telling people about stuff they'll never buy. But it was good practice. I learned the product, but I don't care about learning product. I'd rather BS you into buying something than know the product from the back to the front to the spark plug to the whatever, and then not even be able to make any money. I'd rather pull it up and look like an idiot, but get you to buy it. Because like sales isn't about actually knowing the product. Sales is about just talking somebody into buying it. Tell them, look, let's learn it together or something like that. Because at the end of the day, I can know everything about something, but if you don't buy it, I don't get any money. So what's it matter, right? What matters is I talk you into buying it, regardless if it's better if I don't know anything about it and I sell it to you than if I know everything about it and you don't buy it, So, but that's enough about that. That's how I feel about sales. And I wasn't the greatest at it, but I wasn't the worst at it, and I would have got better at it, but I chose to follow this path because something was telling me I was off to bigger, better things, and I'd rather work for myself. Sorry, but I'd rather work for myself than somebody else. I'm too old, wasted 8.5 years, so I got tired of getting told what to do, even though it's a little different than having a job. And I'm a good worker. I'm actually a really good worker. I'm actually probably a hard worker. Like a lot of people probably get mad, but then a lot of people love me because they know I'm gonna do it. They don't have to do it, but at times it gets kind of frustrating because get tired of doing everybody else's job all the time. Or not everybody else's job, but you get tired of doing everything all the time. And sometimes you've got stuff going on, so you kind of don't feel like doing everything. But then if you don't do it, it's not done. Everybody relies on you. So I guess I'd come off as a jerk sometimes, but it's not me being a jerk. It's me being tired, and it's not really fair to me, but people don't care or see that. So that's probably why I gravitated more to Uber. It's because I didn't have to worry about pulling everybody's weight, or not everybody's weight, because I don't want to make it look like I was like superstar or nothing. But I did work hard, and I would work hard, and anybody could say that. And no matter what job I did, wherever I did it, and That's why I gravitated to Uber, because I didn't have to worry about doing this and doing that and somebody not doing it or somebody not showing up. It's all on me and whatever the algorithm gives me, but it's all based on me, based on my performance, whether I want to work or not, how long I want to work, and when I show up, all that stuff. So that's why I really kind of liked Uber, was because I didn't have to worry about all that stuff. So now it looks like it might rain, which sometimes the rain makes it busier, and then sometimes it just makes more of a problem because you got stuff all in the car, you know. That's why I got mats. So like when I bought this car, the wonderful people at the dealership they stole the mats, or whoever sold the car kept the mats, whatever. Should have came with mats what I paid for this car. Point blank period. Should have came with mats. But whatever, you know. It's just one of them things. But I had to buy the mats because people get in the car, and if you got carpet, it's a lot harder to clean up carpet. And I'm not even just talking about throw up, because that's kind of rare, but I'm talking about just sand. I'm talking about mud, all that stuff. It gets so dirty so fast. So much easier just to vacuum it off with, or wipe it off, whatever, you know, spray it off, whatever you want to do with the mats. You can do multiple different things. So let's see if I can make some money. I've been rambling, but I tend to do that sometimes, and partly because I'm bored and I don't have any trips. I've been online the whole time I've been talking to you, and I still don't have a ride. So please like and subscribe, but also too, don't forget about Gridwise. You got that 14-day trial. Links in the description. You got the QR code on there, and also too, you got that Van True code. I got a couple different codes, gives you deals, discounts for those Van True dash cam. Works really good. I got the N5S, the one I like, but I got Amazon products too. So any of those are all affiliate links. They do help the channel, and I do appreciate it, guys. Thank you. Just got a ride from the private airport right here, Executive Airport. So it's a comfort ride. It's like $9, but that's funny, isn't it? Literally got a ride from that. It's probably either somebody that works there or it's a private flight, but he ordered a comfort ride. And that's the thing, like with Premier, I mean, believe it or not, a lot of people that do have money order comfort. They don't order Premier or Black. Like, they figure comfort's the cheapest, best option, which it kind of is. I don't know what Premier really costs. I don't think Premier's quite as much as Black. Even though it pays us better, I don't think it's much. I think it's more of a promotional thing where Uber kind of takes a loss, but they don't really take a loss. But, you know, so I got like a $9 ride. You know, I don't know. I always say, I don't ever like to say hopefully they'll tip, because it's just whatever. I took the ride based on that, not really are they going to tip or not. But from airports, I mean, honestly, airports are rides where I won't say I expect it, but I want to say most people are going to tip from the airport. Like that one earlier, the guy gave me a $8, $7 tip, so I made $20 on that horrible ride, even though it was around the corner, but I sat there for an hour. That was the whole point. If I would have picked somebody up and picked him up, it wouldn't have been a big deal, but gave him a tip, whatever. He gave me a tip, so that makes it. But that's the thing too, is you should never ever have to hope somebody tips you to make a ride worth it. Now, there's times where it messes up and you're like, oh, thank God they tipped me because it made it. Or you just took a ride that wasn't even nothing, and they tipped you super good. Like they got to give me like $20 on a $4 ride. So those are like a unicorn, but you shouldn't really have to like count on somebody tipping you to make it like a good ride. Like, I know we take rides sometimes that don't really, might make a mistake, whatever, but you really shouldn't have to. Like, that tip always, I really believe that tip should be a bonus. And somebody even said, like, oh, you guys are begging for tips. You know what? We're providing a service. Somebody brought up a good point I seen on TikTok. We provide a service, so yeah, why don't we get a tip? And I don't expect it, but it is kind of a valid point. Like, you go to eat, you tip them, they provide a service. You go to the hair salon, you tip them, they provide a service. We're providing a service that's actually cost us money to provide that service. Like a barber probably does too, but not a server. Server, all it takes cost them is gas to get to the restaurant, and then if you tip them or whatever, the manager will comp the meal so they didn't lose any money. If something happens, we lose the money. Uber ain't gonna give us no money back. So that's the difference. Let me pick these people up. I dropped them off at the Harris Casino at the Topgolf, the live Topgolf. I didn't even know there was another casino right here. That's crazy. Lucky Lane, which we were talking about like what they called it, loser lane, because most people are doing is losing money, but whatever. They were nice people. They were from all over. They were like a business trip. I took a pilot before then. He was real nice. Gave me some information on how to get some clients at FBOs, the smaller airports. See, I always network. Like, I don't sit here and just tell everybody, oh, I'll do YouTube, blah, 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 get you to watch my channel. Like, I network with people. Like, it does come up because people ask, where you're from, blah, blah, blah. But I always network with people because, like, that, the pilot, he gave me a lot of information about how to get a hold of their businesses. Those people use Uber Black. They use this. So I don't just like talk to people about, I like to say, what do you do? All this. I like to listen to people, see what they do, get to know their industry, and because you never know what type of information they might have that can help you out, especially if you have a business, especially if you're doing Uber Black. So that's the one thing. Like, I know a lot of people, there's people sometimes that don't want to talk, whatever. Okay, I understand that, but most people, I'm trying to network. I really am. And that's what I think the best thing about doing this type of industry, this type of business, is learning how to network with people, because you never know who's going to get in your vehicle. Same way as you never know who's going to pick you up. Might be getting in my car, but I'm just saying though, but honestly, really is, you never know who's going to get in your vehicle. So it's always a good thing to network, because you could maybe, like, if you're tired of doing Uber, maybe you meet somebody and you find a job. Like, I was trying to I almost found a job working at one of the restaurants in Jacksonville, and then I went there and actually turned the job down because I was started the advertising business, and I was doing Uber and I was doing YouTube. It was actually before I was doing YouTube. I had started the advertising business, which I still have. I just went a different route about it, but I turned down that job, even though it was probably a good job because it was Seasons 52, but it was more just like, okay, it's a good serving job, but my whole thing is I don't want to wait tables forever. I feel like I'm too old to wait tables. For me personally, and I'm not against people that are my age or whatever waiting tables, because a lot of them still make good money. But my whole thing was it's either own a restaurant or go into management, and I didn't really feel like doing management because I made more money waiting tables sometimes than management. Not always, but sometimes. And I just wanted to get out of the restaurant business, because when I was in the restaurant business, it was all about let's work, and then party. And we did that whole restaurant lifestyle, which was fun when you're younger. But when you get older, like I like to drink, but I don't, because I'm too busy driving. And there's times when I'll go have a drink. Like I did that one day when I had all those issues. That lady, the bartender, she was real nice, gave her a good tip, but it cost me a lot of money. But I didn't really care because I'm going to tip like that. But it's also too because of the fact that I've worked in that industry and I don't go out much. So if I do go out, I'm going to tip good. It's going to cost me some money, but it's not like I'm going out all the time like I used to. So even if I did spend some money, you got to have fun every once in a while. And one thing I don't have enough of, or don't do often enough, is have fun, because I'm too busy work. But I do have kind of a lot more bills and stress and different stuff. It's just one of those times where got to kind of, buckle down and keep focused and just ride it out until I can afford to relax and take a break. And until that time, well, network, pick up people, nice people. But I love how it gives me rides. It's like bam, 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 and then now it's like nothing. It's like, dang it. But I'm at $40 because I had that ride earlier today. So I've made a little bit of money so far. They probably won't tip because it was like a business account, which is fine. I don't really care. But that guy did tip me though. And I do got to send him a thing. See, I don't like to not send people a thank you immediately if I can, because I want them to see it. Just to say, honestly say thank you. I'm glad Uber lets us do that. Lyft does too, but Lyft's kind of harder to see that they tipped you to do it. But I like to let people know, look, I appreciate it. Thank you for tipping me, because I really do. Like I don't care if you send me $1. Thank you. And I ain't saying it to be a smart, or nothing like that. I mean it because thank you, because that's $1 more than I would have had. So that's how I feel about it. Now, a lot of people argue with me, but, that's how I feel about it. So let me go pick up another ride somewhere. Hopefully I get some Premier rides. That was an XL ride, so we'll see what happens. Got it. So that ain't bad. Oh, now I gotta get over. See, that's not a bad ride, so let me go pick them. See, I love those Premier rides. Even though they're $8.99, they're literally like a mile down the street. You're getting like $8 a mile or $5 a mile. Like, I could do those all day long. 'Cause think about it, if you did 10 of them, you might drive 10 miles, but you made $100 plus tip. He gave me a $2 tip, which is not a humongous, but it still adds up. I mean, I'll take it all day long. But think about it, I just made $10.99 for doing nothing. I already gave them a thank you. But yeah, and you're driving no miles. Like, that's bar hopping like crazy. But I've seen Uber Black prices where they're, oh, and by the way, I was wrong. They do give you a surge with Premier, Black, all that. So you do still get surges. For some reason, I thought you didn't. But I've seen otherwise. Even with Black, you do get surges. So the price can definitely go up. But I'm not going to go do the tier or the surge chasing, not surge chasing, but I'm not going to do the surge tricks as much with the Premier because they don't come back to back, so there's really no reason to do it. Unless there's like a $30 surge and I'm close to it, then yeah, I might go over there and try to get it. But that might sometimes hurt you from getting a ride, because if you got a $30 surge and another guy's got no surge, Uber's going to send a match out. It's going to give it to that other person because they don't have a $30 surge, so they're not having to get paid them as much as what you're going to get paid. So you do always got to remember that. Like, I've done it at the airport where the surge went away and I didn't get trips because I had a surge and other drivers pulled in that didn't have a surge. And I mean, it wasn't even a lot, but every dollar counts. So if Uber can save it by giving it to somebody else, trust me, they will do it. So this is what they call Lauderdale by the Sea. So you've got these little restaurants. There's even Keel over there. I actually ate there. I want to say it's probably been 3 weeks now. I can't remember. But I did eat there. It was pretty good, but it's been a while. Yeah, it's probably been 3 weeks. But this is Lauderdale by the Sea. And you'll see right here, there's all these little restaurants back here. Aruba, even Keel, all these things. Billy Jack Shack. I don't even know what else is over there. But right here's where I ate at. It's not even on the thing. Or it might be on the other side. I don't know. But even Keel's right there on the corner. They got a good fish dip and their oysters are good. But oysters are always pretty good unless they're like raw, bad or something. I don't know if you could have bad oysters. I don't know if I've ever had bad oysters. It's right over here though, but you got all those little restaurants and stuff, and then that's even Keel right there in the corner. That's where I ate at. And then Burger Fight, but I've never eaten there, so I couldn't tell you if it's good or not. I've seen a bunch of them, but I've never eaten there. Then you got all these little hotels, which are probably not, even though they look small, they're not cheap. Did not stay in one of those, but that one's kind of cool. That place is kind of cool. Then you got all these little things, but they're definitely not as big as those big ones, but they're definitely probably not cheap either. They're probably cheaper, but cheaper does not mean it's cheap. It just means it's cheaper than the other one. But yeah, definitely not those big buildings up there, but you know, those are like condos, resorts, residences. I don't know what they are. Airbnbs, maybe. Definitely not an Airbnb I'm staying at, because I ain't got that kind of money. You know? Like, you don't see me staying at, like, I stayed at a couple decent hotels, but they weren't expensive. But, I mean, they're really not much more than what I'm paying nightly right now, honestly. Maybe $20 more a night, but they were a lot nicer than where I'm at. But you can't stay there that long. Well, you can, but it's going to cost you, like, I can't pay $700 to stay at a hotel for a week. I mean, it's not that easy to make $700. Well, this guy's an idiot. Yeah, gotta love it. People drive crazy, but see if I get another ride. That was a Premier ride over here, Lauderdale by the Sea. That's kind of rare, at least for me. It's been. Should go back to McDonald's and get another one of my free items. I think I got like a free double cheeseburger. Really probably should, and it would just give me time to get another ride. But it'd be my luck as I'm waiting for the order to come out. Maybe they're busy and so they're taking a little longer, you know, just because it's a restaurant. that I would get like a really crazy ride to where it's like, I gotta go, leave my food, I'll come back later and get it. I know it's windy, but that's a nice hotel, ain't it? I know it's windy, so. But I had to show you guys that hotel. I parked here for a second, but it's a nice hotel. So got another comfort ride. It's like $7, so I'm gonna take them. It's another bar trip. So over here, I mean, I get a lot of these little, go to this resort, pick them up, take them to dinner. And those aren't bad because they usually tip nice people. Short little rides. And honestly, these little bar hopping things, if you can get them kind of back to back to back to back, they really pay off. You drive less miles, less wear and tear, most likely to tip. And, you know, it's just a lot of people in and out of your car. So you do got to remember, you do got to kind of stop. You do got to kind of like check, make sure you they didn't get dirt in the car, sand or whatever. It just kind of make sure it's kind of clean and good to go for the next people. So try to always remember, if you do bar hopping trips, take a break every 2 or 3 guests, or take a look back there. Sometimes you can't really see the floorboard. You can't do that. So you've got to like get out, stop real quick. I got a handheld back. I can just, you know, do it really quick. So always keep that in mind. But I love bar hopping trips. I love these little restaurant from resort trips because you meet a lot of people, not a lot of nice people, good for networking. Never know who you're going to meet. Just like the pilot earlier gave me some tips with the FBOs, stuff like that. So never know you're going to meet. Always use it to your advantage. Network. I don't mean like trying to tell me do YouTube or whatever. I mean like you never know who's going to get in your vehicle that might be able to help you out some way, somehow, whatever. Get a job, you quit Uber, whatever, who knows. So always remember that. That's why I do. I always network, always meet a lot of people. Not always in the best mood, so sometimes I don't always like that, and some other people aren't always like that either, but I try the most I can is to network, because you never know you're going to meet and meet a lot of good people, especially when it comes to business. You never know who you might find a job or whatever. You never know. You just never know. It's a good thing about this job. You just never know who's going to get in your car next. You never know who's going to pick you up either. I'll probably said that before, but let me pick these people up. Been to this little place before. It's a nice little resort, and take them to dinner and see what the next ride brings us. This hotel might be pretty cool because it's like it's got a little thing, but it lets you in there. And then you go to this little resort. I'm pretty sure it's the same resort I was at last night. I've actually been there like 3 or 4 times in the past couple months, because I've been down there before too. Yeah, it's the same little resort. I forget the name of it, Harbor or something. It's Largo Mar Beach Resort. It's a nice place too. Might even be the same people. Nah, probably not, but it's happened. And then earlier I had where I dropped the guy off and I was picking up people at the same spot. I literally had that happen twice in 3,000 rides. Like they were trying to get in when he was trying to get out, and I didn't even realize it because I was like, I didn't know where I was picking them up at, because I don't really get rides like that anymore because I'm doing Comfort, I'm doing XL, and I'm doing Premier. Only time I was really kind of like that was Halloween, and it wasn't even like that. It was like drop them off, then get a ride. That's why usually sometimes I can show you, sometimes I can't, because if I got them in the car, obviously I can't show you the ride, and then sometimes I'm not fast enough to take a picture of it. So, but I try my best, because I know you guys like to see what the ride looks like, so you can see the destination. You can see how I can see the destination, and I'm not a diamond driver or anything but Uber Blue. So that couple was the same couple I picked up last night. They were like, I think you're the first time we've ever had the same driver. So that was pretty interesting. But they were nice people. But yeah, picked up the same people. I've done it a couple times, especially in Jacksonville. I picked up the same nurses quite a few times. I picked up quite a few. I think one girl, she was like a massage therapist. I picked her up like 4 or 5 times. So trust me, I've picked up the same people. That's when you start to realize like I drive a lot, because I pick up the same people multiple times. The first time I did it, it was definitely weird. That's when I did realize like I've been doing this a lot. Now I'm kind of used to it. So I mean, but to be down here in this area to pick up tourists twice in a row, that is a little different. But they're nice people. They're like, hey, we might see you again. I'm like, you never know, because I'll probably be over in this area again. You never know. I might end up picking them, taking them. Because when I seen the name, I couldn't remember if that was them. But when I seen the pin, I said, yeah, that's them, because it's the same place. I think I know the name, and then they need a pin, and not very many people need a pin or have a pin. So that was pretty funny though. It was nice people though. They gave me a good tip. So it's always nice to, it's kind of like having regulars, and which is good. And Lyft will let you keep your favorite driver, which I have a few people that did it along the way, but I don't do Lyft that much. So I had one lady, she saved me as her favorite driver in West Palm Beach. I'm like, I'll be here, but I was only there for like a week, and then I tried working there again, and it kind of died off, and I kept getting dragged down here and in Miami, so I stayed down here, and now I'm back over here doing tourists again. But I might end up taking them home. You never know, but they're going to be there for an hour or two, and I don't know where I'll end up next. You can never necessarily stay in one spot unless people paying you to do it. That's different. If they booked me hourly, which I'm still waiting to get booked hourly for Premiere, but maybe they won't. Maybe it gives me that option, but maybe it won't let me do it because it's more of a Uber Black thing. So it's one thing I'm really interested to know if anybody's done Uber Premiere. Hourly. All right, so those guys are really nice, but that's the thing about always checking. Luckily I heard it ringing, or somebody sent a text message, so I went and gave it to them real quick. But especially when you're dealing with people that aren't from here, and maybe you're not from that area because you took a long trip, whatever, it's definitely good to check to make sure they didn't leave nothing, so that if you don't get too far away, that you can get it to them. So at least I did that. For some reason, when it took my picture, I had my face down. I don't know how it got that picture, because I was looking at it when it flashed, because it made me take my photo, and then when I look back up there, it has me looking down at the camera, and I'm like, how did you take a picture like that? But now it worked. But that's why you always try to double check when you're dealing with a lot of tourists, because they were drunk and it fell out of his pocket. It wasn't like he just left it. It fell out of his pocket. That happens with a lot of people. You don't realize it's not like people intentionally leave something in your car on purpose. It falls out of your pocket. People, especially if people are drunk, and especially if you get a bunch of people that are drunk. Always, because I had that happen in Tampa. Their wallet fell out. They were from Philadelphia, so they were so grateful that I literally stopped to clean the car out and gave it to them, and it made it easier on me because I'd have to come back 45 minutes later to try to bring it to them or whatever, so that makes it easier on everybody, and it saves so much of a headache, so people don't complain, and it makes people don't freak out. I mean, you always got to remember, what if it was you? How would you feel? You'd want your stuff back. You'd be freaking out. Where did I leave it at? What happened? Now, I've had people think they left something in my car and didn't. That's happened, I think, once or twice, where it was I know it didn't because I didn't have any other rides, and I looked and there was nothing in the car, so they must have left it in a different Uber, because that can happen. People take multiple cars and they think, oh, okay, well, I left it in your car. They can't remember what trip it is, and I didn't leave it in my car. So I got another comfort ride from Pier 66, but so far I've made $70 off of 7 trips. Not too bad, but the airport sat there forever earlier today. But I really kind of just did that to show you guys. I was really hoping to at least get a decent trip. I honestly figured I would have got a unicorn, or everybody like, see, it's worth waiting there, but I didn't. I would have honestly wanted better than an $11 trip, but I wasn't going to sit there any longer either. I took the $30 trip, but yeah, Uber's like, no, we're not going to give it to you. We're not going to give you the $30 trip. Even though I would have went to Boca, I still had done it because I probably would have made money in Boca, but whatever. It is what it is. So I dropped her off. When you got Comfort or Premiere and Black too, they're going to get preferences to where they can do Quiet Preferred, which is usually one of them that they'll pick, or cool temperatures or heat, whatever. But sometimes when it's Quiet Preferred, I don't really like it. I understand why they do it, but I don't really like it because it's it makes it seem kind of weird. Now we got this ride. I'm gonna do it just because I need the money, and it's at the Ritz, so I gotta circle back around. Well, did that ride, 37, 31. I don't know, maybe give me a tip, maybe not. I'm way down here from way up there, but not too far, but down in Miami. But I kind of needed that money. Now I'm at $116, so kind of needed it. Kind of, you know, just one of them times where it's like, well, it's not too bad. At least it wasn't like a comfort ride or Uber ride where it's like 50 cents a mile, and it's like, oh, I gotta drive 50 miles for $30. No, I got a decent amount. It's just, you know, would have been nice to do like Premiere somewhere that got like $60, or even really XL usually pays that, but for some reason sometimes when you do a long trip it doesn't really pay quite as much. But hey, it's all good. Try to head back that way, see if I can't make some money. Alright, so I did 116.38 tonight. Now I kind of messed up because I'm trying to do that video for the airport, and then that terrible trip I got kind of messed me up. But I did some good rides, but on the way back I had Premiere, XL, all that on, and literally didn't get anything. So I wasn't too far from where I was at actually, so that kind of worked out. But the whole thing is it's like 10 o'clock, so I'm gonna get up early tomorrow and do some rides. I don't have to do it. I'm gonna go home and finish whatever schoolwork I need to do, and I'm gonna do all that and then just call it tomorrow, try to make 200, because, you know, it really did help me with Saturday kind of pushing me ahead, or Halloween or whatever. So I really wanted to make more, but I took that kind of long ride, which was a good boost, because I was really just getting small things, and maybe I'm just working the wrong area. I'm gonna try something different tomorrow, try a little bit. I know there's gonna be rides to the airport, probably rides from the airport. The weekend will get kind of busier, and it just really pushed through this weekend. I want to try to make 300 on Friday, 300 on Saturday, and Sunday get up early and do some stuff. So I'm gonna try a little different strategy. I'm gonna follow what some people said, try to do that. But I still got tomorrow, because tomorrow's Wednesday, and then Thursday I still got, and Friday during the daytime I could probably get up early. Well, actually, I'm not going to be able to, because I got to check out. And I'm going to check into, I got an Airbnb, a little bit better spot. So I'm going to try that out, because it's cheaper. It's cheaper than where I'm at, and it's nicer than where I'm at. So I had to do that. So part of it. So Friday, I'm going to knock all that stuff out, do some laundry early in the morning. Or while I'm waiting. Actually, what I'm going to do is while I'm waiting, I'm going to do the laundry. That'll be the easiest thing to do. Go to a laundromat and sit there and do it. It'll be way easier that way. Oh, I should have turned in there, but oh well. So, get out, make sure it's clean.